Hello out there, all you beautiful internet people. Today we're doing something a little different. We're going to be ranking some internet content. The YouTuber I'm going to be ranking today is Brahkie. Brackie's pretty new to the YouTubing game. He's only been uploading videos for 9 months, but in those 9 months she's got over 100,000 subscribers. And I always find this bizarre whenever I see a channel that's like under a year old, but they got like over 100,000 subscribers, and I'm like, how the fuck do you do this? When I got on the internet back in 2018, everyone just called me a spurg for like 2 years straight, and then I've been at relatively the same level of obscurity ever since. Nonetheless, Brackie's content is charming and great, and I think is the sort of content that YouTube could freaking use more of, because there's too much AI crap and too much clickbait crap, and it's good to see a nice wholesome YouTube videos like Brackie's getting big and getting pushed up there in the algorithm. It's about fucking time. Now, Brahkie is a participant in a trend of 2000s nostalgia type videos. I don't think Brahkie started this. I think it was started with that channel that posts the edgy gangster Looney Tunes edits. Cooper2723 kind of started it off, or maybe there was some before him. But needless to say, Brahkie is very much in the same type wheelhouse, making videos that sound and look like they're from 2007, 2008, or maybe it could be that they are just legitimately a deluge of time travelers we've happened upon here. I don't really get nostalgic for the 2000s because I grew up in them and they were lame as fuck, and I remember how lame they were, but I have to say, it does take a lot of skill and talent and filmmaking prowess to make videos that do feel like they're from 2007, 2008, 2009. You have to have the right equipment, gotta have that blown out microphone, gotta have the right computer programs and all that. So I have to give Brahkie credit where credit's due. She is very convincing at convincing everyone that she's from the 2000s. So props to that, I guess. I like Brackie's content for a completely different reason. It reminds me of Pepinia from Our Third Life, which I think is one of the best web series ever made. And I think Pepinia is just one of the greatest comedians of all time, right up there with like Goldie Hawn and frickin' Carol Burnett, and does not get enough credit. She's the girl who does the I Hate Minions video. But there's so many more great Our Third Life videos. So I'd also recommend Our Third Life. If you're into Brahkie, I'd recommend Our Third Life. I would say Our Third Life is less so going for a nostalgic angle and more so going for just kind of try and make content that feels like mid-2010s vlogs, which is when it was made. Whereas Brahkie goes all the way back to like 2006, 2007, like that. So anyway, I'm going to be ranking every single Brahkie video pretty quick. It only takes about an hour to watch all of them, and there aren't that many as of the time of this video being made. So I'd recommend you go and watch all of them, subscribe to Brahkie, give her some clout, because they're darn good videos. Yeah, I watched all of them in about an hour or so, and I'm going to rank them. Not by one of those fucking tier lists, because I don't buy into those. Those are the work of the Illuminati. I'm going to be ranking every single video just from 1 to 10. What do I think of it? 1 through 10. Okay, and with that said, we're going to get right into it. Here it is, the definitive Brahkie ranking. The first video uploaded to the Brahkie channel was peanutbutterjellytime.wmv.
Where he at? Where he at? Where he at? Where he at? Oh, there he go.
Now this gives the viewer a pretty good idea of what's to come. It's just Brahkie rapping Peanut Butter Jelly Time with some GIFs and pictures of what's the fucking dog's name? Brian Griffin in the foreground. I'm not into Family Guy. I think Family Guy is fucking stupid. I think Seth MacFarlane is stupid. I think it's high time that this wannabe fucking Ralph Cramden shithead becomes obscure and people forget about him, and Family Guy stops being popular because it's like, what the fuck, it's not 2000 anymore. But I have to say, I do think Brahkie injects some much needed life into the Family Guy franchise, and I think if Family Guy was half as innovative, as inventive, as well made as independent web series like what Brackie's got going on, it might actually be like successful again. But I don't think Seth MacFarlane is a visionary to the extent that Brahkie is. I just don't really like the Family Guy clip. I like the song. I like Peanut Butter Jelly Time, the song, and I also like the lore, how it was like involved with like a gang shootout or whatever, supposedly. Even if that's like an urban legend, it's fun to think about. And so, even though that's not mentioned in this video, whenever Peanut Butter Jelly Time is brought up, I kind of have to consider that like, you know, oh wow, you know, some people died over this fucking song. I would say probably 4 out of 10. Which, you know, I would hope that the Brahkie introductory piece is a little more, like, cohesive as to what we're getting into here, but it's subtle. It's subtle. And, so yeah, 4 out of 10. Okay, next up, we got funkytownaerobics.wmv. This
What you take me to?
This is very similar to the previous one, but it's Brahkie singing Funky Town. I like Funky Town way more than Peanut Butter Jelly Times or Family Guy, so I have to give this one like an 8 out of 10. Funky Town is a solid jam, and Brackie's cover of it is great, and it's absolutely a gem. Yeah, fantastic video. The third video is The Dangers of Fireworks, Revealing Their Dark Secret. This one is phenomenal. This one is, it might be one of my favorites on the entire channel just because it reminds me a lot of a Ronald Yoder video. In fact, I think there is a Ronald Yoder video where it talks about how fireworks are scary. I'm not saying Brahkie ripped Ronald Yoder off or anything, but it has that kind of Ronald Yoder editing style that I really appreciate. Although Ronald Yoder obviously has never gone mega viral, besides his video Look at the Clown, which is a shame. That's also very, very top tier YouTube content. But I would have to say that among all the Brahkie videos, this one is fantastic. Top tier shit. It is really, really good. I said I wasn't doing a tier list, so I don't know why I'm saying top tier. But it's really, really good. Very funny, the captions are all great, and the Windows Movie Maker style is on point, and I like the fireworks theme because it's interesting, you know, and not only is it applicable in the 2000s or 2007 or whenever Brahkie is stuck, it's also applicable today, you know. Fireworks are not necessarily a nostalgic concept, they're something that's been around forever, and I like that. I like the temporal applicability of that, you know. This video is as fun in 1950 as it is in 1890 as it is today, because fireworks are a tried and true classic and you can make a lot of good jokes about them. I don't know what I'm waffling on about here. I like this video because it's not nostalgia pandering, I guess. So I would give The Dangers of Fireworks, Revealing Their Dark Secret probably a 9 out of 10. Okay, next up we got How to Time Travel IRL.
And now we wait.
This is the video that starts to expand on the Brahkie lore, in that it's also the first time where we see her on screen, and she uses, I think, a Windows 95 disc, a CD player, and a Nintendo controller to build a time machine. Time travels back to, I forget the exact decade she says, but like colonial times, and then like vanishes out of the present, or her present anyway. So this is a nice addition to the Brahkie verse, in that it explains that Brahkie has power over the space-time continuum and is capable of like controlling it and going wherever the fuck she wants. And this is a fascinating video. It really adds on to the Brahkie timeline, and it brings up a lot of questions, but it also answers a lot of questions that I imagine people would be having after the first 3 videos, like why do these look so old, why is the resolution so low, etc. It's good world building. It's better than a lot of time travel stuff that comes out these days, so I have to give it props there. There is a lot of horrible time travel stuff, like the fake Back to the Future 4 fake trailer, which was a piece of shit. This is way better than that. In fact, I'd say this is on par with Back to the Future. Good, solid, inventive filmmaking, and I like the idea of time travel, and Brahkie really pulls it off. I would give How to Time Travel IRL 7 out of 10. It's pretty good, the prop work is pretty good, the sets are pretty good, and yeah, not much more to say about that. Okay, next up, we got the 70 subscriber Q&A.
I just started eating pennies off the ground, and eventually I ate enough pennies, and it transported me back to here.
That Brahkie does. This one only has one question. I forget what it is, but basically it's just Brahkie answers one question, and then she shuts the camera off, and that's the end of the video. I like the idea of audience participation in this. It's very interesting. And I remember personally when I had like 70 subscribers. That was like 5 years ago. I'm a fucking time traveler. Because I look back at 2018 and I basically time traveled, just wasting my life making fucking YouTube videos. So it's interesting, it's interesting to think that someone can go from 70 subscribers to over 100,000 in less than a year. That's like some kind of freak anomaly or something. I'm not jealous of Brahkie or anything. These are way better videos than I would ever be capable of making. Anyway, I give the 70 subscriber Q&A 5 out of 10. It's not essential viewing, but it's pretty good. It gives a little bit of backstory and little hints as to what's to come. And yeah, it's okay. Next up, we got the 166 subscribed Q&A.
You travel 65 million years ago and take a selfie with a dinosaur. I'll try it. If it worked, I'm going to put it on the screen right here.
As opposed to the subscriber Q&A, the 166 subscribed Q&A. And this one has more questions, mainly just a lot asking Brahkie, are you from the past? Are you in the past? What year is it? Etc. And Brahkie kind of dances around the questions a little bit, intentionally, but then does reveal that it is in fact the 2000s. That's interesting, and it confirms that something more than meets the eye is going on here with this shit. That Brahkie is in fact in the 2000s. And what's interesting about this revelation is if you consider that Brahkie is in her default state in the 2000s, not necessarily as a result of any of her time travel shenanigans, but just by default, like from the 2000s originally, then that would mean that she's a millennial. I have no idea why this time travel 2000s content is so appealing to Gen Zers like myself when it's being made by millennials from the 2000s. I don't know. That's just kind of interesting to think about, I suppose. So yeah, the 166 Q&A gives a lot more lore and breakdown and interesting little bits than the 70 subscriber Q&A. So I would give this like a 7 out of 10. It's pretty essential Brahkie viewing. You're kind of missing out on the whole scope, the whole game plan, the whole 4D chess game that Brackie's got cooking up if you don't watch this one. Okay, next up, one of my least favorite videos, playing Roblox for the first time.
Hi guys, today I'm going to be playing this new game I found Roblox.
Yawn, I'm not a gamer, so I don't care about the Roblox game. This is the video where Brahkie gets blocky, I guess. Ha 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 ha. But I really don't care much about Roblox. I don't know the Roblox lore. I don't know why anyone would play with fake Legos when you could just play with real Legos. Or better yet, you could play with Kinects, which are way more fun than Legos. But yeah, I'm not big into Roblox. I'm not a big gamer, so I have to give this video, which feels like the low point of the series, kind of just nostalgia pandering for nostalgia pandering's sake. And it does feel like there could have been a much better video put out at this point that was like, it had a little more substance to it, because there's nothing here that would even indicate that Brahkie is stuck in the 2000s or anything. It's kind of watery and boring, And I would just think it's like a modern Roblox Let's Play, because really, how much has Roblox changed, you know? It's boring. Roblox is boring, and I give this a 2 out of 10. I'm not a big Roblox enjoyer. All right, and next up, we got one of the best Brahkie videos. This is what I'm talking about. Speed up your computer.wmv.
And then we hope it speeds up fast.
This one is fantastic. It introduces a new mechanic where instead of doing a voiceover or appearing on camera, Brahkie types into the notepad on the old Windows operating system directions on how to speed up your computer, and goes to the site downloadmoreram.com. I find it really funny that some Brahkie video might result in some idiot downloading a malicious virus onto their hard drive, so that's pretty funny. But yeah, this is a good little prank troll type video. You know, it's just Brahkie trolling about, just saying, oh, here's how to download more RAM. And a lot of people probably forgot that these type prank sites used to exist and still do exist, and that's a fun little tidbit of online lore. I like the idea that there's sites out there that just lie to you about downloading more RAM. That's a nice, fun little prank, unless it infects your hard drive with a worm or something. But, you know, other than that, I kind of like it, and I like the idea that Brahkie just keeps clicking download more RAM and thinks that it's going to make her computer faster, when in reality the only way to make the computer faster is to time travel ahead to fucking 2023 and get some Windows 11. But anyway, yeah, this is a great video. At the end there's a little tutorial on like how to clean your keyboard and mouse, and she like sprays the computer down with water. It's pretty funny, and then the camera dies. This is a very inventive video, top tier. There is a plot hole, I think, in it where it shows that Brahkie has Opera installed on her computer, but to the best of my knowledge, Opera wasn't very popular, and I think maybe it was around, but it wasn't very popular, and it's like the modern Opera logo, which is kind of weird. But aside from that one little continuity error, I have to give Speed Up Your Computer 8 out of 10. It is a great top tier return to form for the Brahkie continuity. Yeah. Okay, next up we got I Got a PSP.
Hey guys, you guys are never gonna believe what I got today. I got a PSP.
Now this one is yet another gaming video. I'm not a gamer, so I don't understand who likes PSPs or who cares about PSPs. I guess the joke is, you know, it's an old PSP. But again, I grew up when I remember when technology like this was just like everyone was walking around with it. And I find it fucking boring back then, and I find it boring now. It's not as bad as playing Roblox for the first time, though, because Brahkie does appear on screen, shows it off, and there's just something about, you know, like a physical presence in a video as opposed to just like Bandicam footage that is innately more appealing. It's more interesting, and you know, there's more like physical comedy, more body language and gestures and stuff. I think it comes off a little better. Just kind of like a little tech review. What do I rank I Got a PSP? I rank it like 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. It's mediocre, it's decent. I recommend it, yeah. I mean, you can never get enough of this type of content, but too gaming oriented. So I have to deduct a couple points there. Okay, next up we got top 5 scary photos of all time. Warning, scary. Can't escape this. This is yet another video that's kind of like the Dangers of Fireworks video. It reminds me less of Ronald Yoder. I think it's going for more a kind of, you know, like Chills or Top 15s vibe. Which weren't, you know, those type videos are more a 2010s thing than a 2000s thing. But I have to give it credit, it does use Windows Movie Maker, and I love Windows Movie Maker because I edit all my videos on Windows Movie Maker. Not original Windows Movie Maker, but Windows Movie Maker 2011, which is pretty dang good video editing software. And this video is top stuff. Again, it really is great. The only point where I was like, was when the photo of SpongeBob came up. And for those of you who don't know, SpongeBob is my fucking arch nemesis. I want to see that little thing rot in hell. So when I saw that come up, I was like, oh, come on. It was Pennywise and Smile Dog, and now here it's SpongeBob. You know, you can do better. But anyway, yeah, I would give this video... I would give this video probably like an 8 out of 10, but because of the SpongeBob, I'm going to have to take a point off and say it's 7 out of 10. It's not as good as the firework video, but some, you know, these are pretty scary images that Brahkie is exposing us to here, so, you know, not for the faint of heart. You will be spooked. Too spoopy for you, and all that. Next up, we got the big viral video, a normal San Andreas review.
Here's the inside. It didn't come with a manual.
This is Brackie's most popular video. It's the one that I was recommended in the YouTube algorithm, even though I'm not a gamer. Again, I don't know why YouTube recommends me this gaming content. And I do think it's sad that, you know, a lot of people will only see this video and not, like, go back into the Brahkie catalog and realize, oh, there's an entire fucking universe to be found here. But, you know, what the heck? He's got 100,000 clamoring fans for this nostalgia bait content. So, you know, I have to give her props there. And, you know, I doubt she cares too much about that this is the most viral video or whatever. I just find, oftentimes with YouTubers, like, the most popular video will not be the best one. And you have to go back and really hunt for the good shit. But for what it's worth, normal San Andreas review, I will say, even though it is a gaming review, it's pretty interesting, because at the end Brahkie turns into an alien, and this is yet another layer on the mystery. Is Brahkie an alien in addition to being a time traveler, which would mean that she's not a millennial, but is perhaps, you know, thousands of years old? I don't know what the heck is going on, but that's a nice little detail, and it's a necessary component to the Brahkie lore, so I have to give props there. This is good world building. I don't know about the GTA series. I don't give a shit about GTA. I don't care about San Andreas, or San Andreas, or however you say it. I've sworn that I will not care about the fucking GTA franchise until they make a GTA where it's set in a parody of Denver, because I hear all the Californians and Miamians going, oh wow, this is such a great and effective parody of our city. You know, but I don't live in those fucking cities, so I don't know how effective a parody it is. I want to see a fucking shootout, high-speed robbery chase down fucking Colfax. How about that? I know Rockstar is never going to do that. So I'll just keep on hating GTA 5 until the day I'm dead, because they're never going to set a GTA game here in a parody of Denver, which would be fun and awesome. But that's not Brackie's fault, you know, it's not Brackie's fault that the GTA series sucks. It just happens to be what she's into. So I'm gonna give the normal San Andreas review, or San Andreas review, or however the fuck you say it, I'm gonna give it a pretty solid 8 out of 10. It's not perfect, but I can see why this is her most popular. It's decent. It's some okay content, and you know, okay, decent, maybe above decent, you know, because she does turn into an alien at the end, but whatever. Next up, we got the 20,000 subscriber special, exclamation point, exclamation point 1, then more exclamation points. This is the most recent subscriber special. I guess you didn't do one for 100,000. Which I guess is supposed to be ironic or something. But anyway, I would say this is my favorite out of the subscriber specials. She just does the Family Guy theme on a saxophone. I know I say I don't like Family Guy, but the cover is pretty damn good. I've heard my fair share of Family Guy covers. I don't know what it is with Family Guy. I'm sick of Family Guy. Simpsons is better. But anyway, I would give the 20,000 subscriber special probably an 8 out of 10. It's pretty freaking good, and I just find it insane that you can get like 20,000 subscribers in less than a year. If you make a certain type of content or just appeal to a certain very specific niche. But, you know, fuck, she deserves it. Anyway, the next video is one of the best. Why Windows XP is better than Windows Vista.
I think Windows Vista is way too expensive. I can't afford Windows Vista because they made it too expensive.
This one's the shit. It's like the how to make your computer faster video, except instead of typing in the notepad, Brahkie just gives it a direct voiceover. So it's a voiceover over computer footage. This video is Brahkie going into detail about how Windows XP is better than Windows Vista, and from what I've heard, Windows Vista was kind of lame. So this is a nice, apt, topical parody that takes a jab at Microsoft and is funny and very, very astute and observant, and I like that type of comedy that goes into an interesting topic that most people don't think about really, but that then they have to consider, like, oh, Windows XP is better than Windows Vista. He gives a lot of interesting reasons, like that the fish wallpaper on Windows XP is better than on Windows Vista, and then shows how the Windows XP media player looks epic. And it's here that it shows that Brackie's listening to a David Byrne song. So despite Brackie's admiration of the Family Guy and GTA franchises, I do have to give Brahkie props here because she does listen to David Byrne, and David Byrne is fantastic, and David Byrne is great, and that is a good example of good, solid music. So I can't knock Brackie's music taste. But too much gaming. Anyway, Windows XP is better than Windows Vista is a pretty darn good video. It really shows off, you know, the broken microphone sound and the Windows Movie Maker aesthetic to a T, and I really like it. So I'm going to give Windows XP better than Windows Vista a 9 out of 10. This is essential Brahkie viewing. Highly, highly, highly recommend. Fantastic video all around. Okay, next up we got the epic Jingle Bell Rock kazoo cover. This one is okay. I wouldn't say it's as good as the Family Guy saxophone theme, but for what it's worth, it's a pretty good kazoo type cover of Jingle Bell Rock. I don't know, not much more to say about than that. There's some fun little Christmas Santa decals all over, and it's okay. It's not as good as Funky Town Aerobics. I would say it's actually better than Peanut Butter Jelly Time. It's pretty alright. So I would say I give epic Jingle Bell Rock kazoo cover 6 out of 10. I don't know if that's higher than I gave Peanut Butter Jelly Time, but yeah, I give it a 6 out of 10. It's a decent display of kazoo skills. Next up, we got Merry Christmas.
Right here. Wait. I'm gonna put a picture right here.
This is yet another video on Brackie's webcam. She just shows off the GTA 4 box edition she's got or whatever, and again, I don't care about GTA. This one just kind of feels like a nothing. It's very forgettable, and it should just been the Jingle Bell Rock cover, because, like, really, it's better. I don't remember much about this one. It's pretty forgettable. There's not too much additions to the Brahkie lore or anything. I give Merry Christmas a, 4 out of 10. It's not the best of what Brahkie has to offer. It just kind of feels, again, like filler. Next up, we got I Modded My iPod.
Here's the phone call thing.
This is a similar video, I guess. It's kind of in the same series as I Got A PSP, because both of them, the titles are in all caps. But in this case, Brahkie is showing off her new iPod, which, again, I remember when these were out, and, you know, they're pretty fucking popular, and everyone was like, I got an iPod. And I just didn't give a shit. So I would give I Modded My iPod. It's pretty good. I get it more than I Got A PSP, because, again, I'm not a gamer, but I know what an iPod is. So I would give I Got an iPod, 7 out of 10. It's decent. Again, some interesting prop work and, you know, set design and all, and yeah, it's good for what it is. Okay, next up we got Freaking Cool GTA 4 Moments compilation. This one was perhaps the biggest surprise I got watching the entire Brahkie franchise. I thought that it was going to be lame because I don't like GTA, and I don't like the fucking memes or culture that is sprung out of this police robbery shoot-'em-up game. Not because I'm a prude or anything like Elon Musk, but if I want to watch a badass crime story, I'm gonna watch Goodfellas. I'm not gonna game it up and play GTA 4 or 5 or whatever, because that's for losers. But admittedly, this is probably the funniest GTA 4 video I've ever seen. Actually, just the funniest GTA video, period, because it's just Brahkie, and she does like an epic stunt, and then the rest of the video is just her driving around a playground, and then like the car breaks down so much that what's his name, Nico, whatever, has to get out, and then she like drives around a motorcycle. It's pretty funny. I've never actually seen a funny thing in GTA. Everyone's like, oh, you can jump off a building, oh, you can go skydiving, oh, ho, ho, oh, wow, it's Bigfoot. In GTA, real life, ho, ho, 3 a.m. challenge, funny. But I would say that this is like probably the only GTA video I've ever seen that actually makes me laugh, because Brahkie has a good sense of timing and payoff and setup and all these necessary components of humor that all too often these days are just like forgotten. But this is actually a pretty damn good video, even though it's about a video game I could give less of a shit about. Just the execution is so freaking perfect, and yeah, I would give this a 8 out of 10. It's surprisingly well done for a GTA video. I thought I was gonna hate it, but I actually really liked it. So a quick little update. While I was editing this video, Brahkie uploaded a new video called I Hate Fred.
This little idiot makes me so mad.
Which I'm just gonna review real quick before I get to the last video that I'm gonna cover. And in this video, Brahkie just talks about how she hates Fred. Now, I really like this video because it's hilarious to hear someone dunk on Fred, and she says that Fred is a ripoff of Smosh, which might actually be the case. I actually sometimes forget that Smosh, like, technically it does predate Fred, right? That's pretty wild. Anyway, it's just basically 2 minutes of dunking on Fred, and I'd say out of the entire Brahkie catalog, because this is kind of a rant, it does feel the closest to a Pepinia or Third Life video, especially the Minions video. Like, if you like the Minions video, you'll really like this video dunking all over Fred. I will say, though, that although this is a great video, because I can't fucking stand Fred either, this is the most anachronistic Brahkie video, because nobody in the late 2000s hated Fred. Everyone fucking loved Fred. How do you think he got so big? Everyone freaking loved him. The world couldn't get enough Fred. As much as we might want to pretend in retrospect that, like, Fred was unpopular or something, he was very popular, and he's a great example of 2000s culture that absolutely fucking sucked, and, like, we get it now why Fred was such absolute cancer, but back in the day, everyone was all over Fred, so I think this video is kind of unrealistic. I'm sure this is Brackie's actual legit opinion here, but nobody back in the 2000s was taking the piss on Fred. That was not a thing yet. So I would give this video 8 out of 10. It's really, really funny, but it is temporally inaccurate because nobody was dunking on Fred back in the 2000s. But anyway, yeah, back to your regularly scheduled programming. Okay, and that brings us to the most recent Brahkie video as of the creation of this. Allstar.wmv.
We could all use a little change.
Holy shit, this might be Brackie's magnum opus, because while it is the same concept as Peanut Butter Jelly Time WMV and Funky Town Aerobics.wmv, this is a video where Brahkie does a cover of the all-time great classic All-Star. This is more what I'm talking about. This is a good, wholesome meme that the whole fam can enjoy, as opposed to all this niche Family Guy shit and GTA shit. This is a meme that everyone likes. Universal appeal. Everyone likes All-Star. Gosh, frickin' Steve from Smash Mouth died. That fucking sucks. He's such a Chad. The world doesn't have enough guys like him in it, that's what I say. But yeah, All-Star.WMV is a new YouTube classic, a solid banger, and probably the best video that Brahkie could possibly have put out at this point in her illustrious career. It's a good shit. All the delivery is fantastic. You can tell that Brackie's really refined her singing technique since Funky Town Aerobics, really like gone in depth as to how to properly miss the beats and miss the lyrics at just the right time, and like not even know the lyrics to All Star, which is one of the easiest songs ever to sing along to, and she just like completely misses every lyric, and it's great and hilarious and awesome. And this should be everyone's ringtone. It should be your ringtone. It should be your alarm clock. Make this your fucking ringtone and alarm clock. It's that good. This is, I think, Brackie's best video to date, just because it's All-Star, and All-Star is fucking awesome, and I can never get enough of All-Star. The meme will never die, and I have to give All-Star.WMV a 10 out of 10. It is a perfect video. It's two of the best things about YouTube smashed together. Brahkie and All-Star. And those are like, it meshes like perfect. It's a perfect mesh. Also, I like the little meta commentary that Brahkie gives in the beginning, where she's like, oh, it's for nostalgia. You know, because back in the 2000s, All-Star was kind of already seen as this nostalgic phenomenon. And many people have forgotten that like, All-Star got big in part because of nostalgia. Shrek got big in part because of nostalgia. Not Gen Z nostalgia, like Brahkie appeals to, but millennial nostalgia specifically. This is an interesting way that like the Brahkie series has kind of become full circle, and it's gone into like an Inception route, where like Brackie's referencing the nostalgia of the time in which she exists. That's fucking interesting. So I hope there's more of that in the future, because like it's a really incisive commentary on nostalgia, I would say. Like, seriously. Anyway, yeah, that's all the Brahkie videos ranked. Hopefully this is useful for all you Brahkie fans out there, so you know what to start with and what to avoid and what to go for when exploring the Brockiverse. I'm kind of surprised there isn't a crossover between Brahkie and Cooper2723 yet. They seem like very compatible channels that would have a lot in common. But on the other hand, if there was ever a crossover between Our Third Life and Brahkie, holy shit, that would be the crossover to end all crossovers, I tell you what. That'd probably be the funniest fucking video ever made. But it seems as if our Queen Pepina has left the internet for good, and that's a shame. It was great while it lasted. Anyway, yeah, overall, what would I rate the Brahkie YouTube channel? Again, it is kind of a trend. There is a thing called digital horror now that's replaced analog horror as the most popular, and I think it fucking sucks because it's all just Roblox and Minecraft and shit, and I don't care about it. But as far as comedy videos go, I think there is a lot of comedy to be mined out of the 2000s, and a lot of interesting trends of the decade. I don't particularly hate 2000s nostalgia. I don't feel it, because I grew up in the 2000s. Again, they were fucking shit, and lame and boring as shit. But, you know, to those who do, I guess I can see why these videos are popular, and I now know the secret to success, which is nostalgia pander, talk about gaming a lot, and talk about Family Guy a lot. But I'm not going to do any of those three things because I'm just mentally incapable of doing any of that stuff. And instead of filming videos like it's 2007, you're just going to have to accept me as I am here in this atemporal void that could exist at any point during history. So anyway, those are my thoughts on Brackie's videos, and hopefully this is a useful video. And if you're watching this, Brahkie, you know, comment down below as to what you think, you disagree, agree, whatever. I'm just glad there's content like this being made, because, you know, it's fucking good. It's good content. And I'm sick of all this crap that's like mass manufactured. And I can see why people like this type of content. It's a nice form of escapism. It's a nice retreat into simpler pastures, back to basics approach. Overall, it's just good fucking filmmaking. You know, what more can I really say? It's good filmmaking that takes a lot of time and thought, And that's all too often neglected these days. So I gotta give Brahkie due credit where she deserves it. These are good fucking videos, and I want to see more in the near future. I might do another of these rankings if there's more videos uploaded to the Brahkie YouTube channel. Doesn't look like she's gonna stop anytime soon. So go sub to her. Link in the description. Okay, bye YouTube.